Hey guys, it's Jill. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new, and welcome to Weigh-In Wednesday. I don't know that I think I do have a couple of things that I had to say throughout the week, so let's go ahead and go to that. Before we do that though, if you guys are not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Click the notification bell so you're always notified of every single upload. Like this video, and let's go ahead and get into it. So I just experienced like one of the greatest non-scale victories. I mean, it wasn't one of the greatest, but it was amazing. So you guys know I was talking about how I felt like I was like this close to being able to pull my seat up. I did it today, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm actually able to, like, my stomach has gone way down, and I'm like, the scale hasn't budged, but like I can feel it. I can feel it in my clothes, like the car, all that kind of stuff. So it's like super freaking excited, and I had to share it because it's just so amazing. Okay, so I was telling you guys this yesterday when I was getting out of the car. Do y'all see, by the way, how far I parked? I always park in the back of the parking lot, as far as I can go, everywhere I go. So anyways, this is what I was talking about yesterday with this is a huge non-scale victory. And I'm not going to, like, obviously, like, I can put this new seat position in memory, but I'm not going to do that because I want to, especially throughout this whole holiday season, I want to remember this. So every time I get in and out of the car, this seat is going to move because I don't want to change the memory position, and it's going to remind me of how far I have come. So just watch this. You might not hear it. You might see it. I don't know. It's probably better when I turn it off, but hold on, just watch. It's like the slightest little bit, but watch. Let me turn it off. Is that not huge, y'all? I mean, that is so freaking huge. I don't remember when I was this weight last year if I had to do this or not. But I will say that I have noticed a huge difference in my stomach, in just the way that it feels, in the way that I feel like it's lifted and it's not hanging as much. And I just feel like things are like getting easier to do. Like reaching certain ways is easier, and, you know, reaching my feet to like lotion them is easier, and to put shoes on is easier. And it's just like remembering these things right here. It's like I just came from my it's Weight Watchers again. It's Weight Watchers. I just came from my Weight Watchers meeting, and someone in there lost 100, I think it was like 101 pounds, and she was asking like, what is it that kept you going? And she's like, the mindset. I kept remembering my why, and I keep remembering my why. And that's what I have to do when something triggers me and my first reaction is to go eat. I need to remember that that is not going to solve anything. And I need to remember my why, my constant whys. And I need to remember the feeling of how it felt to weigh 331 pounds. And again, I have a video that's going to come up probably when I lose like 50, 60 pounds, that it's going to talk about the struggles that I just don't personally feel comfortable talking about right now, because there are still some things that I do struggle with. But there is something else that happened today that I was just like, so it's exciting, and I know that the scale hasn't moved and it's still not budging, but I will tell you this, I am noticing changes in my body, and that's why I'm putting so much focus. I'm trying to put so much more focus on how I'm feeling, noticing differences in these little things, because these are huge. And that scale is eventually, it's going to keep going. As long as I keep progressing and staying consistent, the scale is going to budge. It just is. So I don't know. I just had to share with y'all, because this is that time of year where we all start to struggle. And I would be lying to you if I sat here and told you I'm not worried at all, because I am. I mean, there's a certain time period that's coming up too, and if y'all already, especially y'all keyboard warriors, you know what I'm talking about. And I don't want to be like, put myself in this thing where it's like, oh, this always happens, or this happens because of this, or no, not anymore, because these things matter to me so much and they feel so good. Yes, seeing that scale moves, but this stuff, this is the shit that matters, you know? Like, I just think one day I'm going to be able to get on those paddle boats, and it might not mean much to my kids for me to be able to get on those paddle boats. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, there's these paddle boats down in University City. I'm in Charlotte area. And I came here to visit before I decided to move, and they got on these paddle boats, and I looked at the weight limits, and this was something I never thought I would have to do either. And I watched on the sidelines as my kids got in these paddle boats. Would I have been able to get in the paddle boats even if I did weigh 250? No, all three of us would not have fit. But it's the fact that I had to sit and watch them, knowing that I wanted to experience that with them. It's the fact that when we went to Carowinds last year, I couldn't ride anything with them because I physically cannot fit into anything. So it's just like things like that. Like anytime I'm going somewhere, like, am I going to fit? Is the chair, like, does the chair have handles? It's just, there's so much that, like, at 3, if you've never been like morbidly obese, you wouldn't know about. And it's just, these things are what is like keeping me going, like seeing these differences. And obviously clothes fit better, they look better, I feel better, I feel like I look better. I'm starting to really just, I don't know, I'm just really proud of myself. And I had to share this non-scale victory with y'all because this is huge for me. It's huge. And I want to encourage everyone out there, let you know I struggle a lot. This past weekend, I struggled. And I wanted to emotionally eat. Today, I want to emotionally eat. Last night, I wanted to emotionally eat. There's some things that are going on that it's just, it's like, it's so heartbreaking. And it's just like, it's out of my control. Completely out of my control. But I just have to keep moving forward and realizing that emotionally eating these feelings away is not going to make them go away. It's not going to make any difference. Numbing myself doesn't make my problems any better. As a matter of fact, it just makes everything worse, because then I have to go back to, let's put my seat all the way back, and let's, now these clothes are fitting tighter again, and, just like all the things I've been experiencing, and I don't know. I will see you guys later. Okay, so as for my weight, I got on the scale and I was 305.8, which is down 0.9 tenths of a pound. So I'm like, I was this close to losing a pound. I am down a total of 25.9 pounds, which means I am like almost at like 30 pounds lost. If I could get to 30 pounds lost for this year, that is going to be such a huge accomplishment for me. I remember when I left my ex-husband and we separated, I remember it taking me like 2 or more years to lose 30 pounds because I was in this constant binge restrict. I was also like going through a lot of emotional stuff, obviously way more than I am now. But it was just up and down, up and down, up and down. So I remember being like, okay, so don't be so hard on yourself. It did take you a couple of years to lose 30 pounds. But I was thinking back on that now that I see that I'm almost 30 pounds down, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. And I started in May, so that just makes me really happy. I even, y'all know, went off the rails and gained most of that weight back. So I'm just, y'all will see how much I lost overall in the month, like my second month of WW. But speaking of, Weight Watchers, we're back to Weight Watchers, okay? They completely changed last week their program. I was very, very, very hesitant. They changed it on Monday. I went to my Weight Watchers meeting on Thursday. I was very hesitant. I was like, no. If they're giving us until, I think it was like December 11th or December 12th, where everyone had to be switched over, I was like, if they're going to give us to then, I do not, because I was loving the plan that I was on so much. And specifically, what I liked so much about it, it was probably the reason why I didn't have, I guess I should say why I had slower progress in month 2 of Weight Watchers. And that is because I learned how to kind of work this system my way to where I was eating more junk food instead of like the healthier foods. And the whole thing with Weight Watchers as to why I was so intrigued and why I loved it so much is because it's like it helped. It is helping to change my mindset around food. Okay, whereas before when I was in a calorie deficit, it's like, okay, let's eat this, and this, and it's all junk food and it's not filling me up. So I'm feeling hungry and I'm not eating hardly any vegetables. I always eat fruit because I love fruit. That's a constant in my life, whether I'm trying to lose weight or not. I love fruit. So that was something that helped me. I was thinking, oh, I'm doing myself a favor. Like, I will build this massive salad for lunch and it'll only be like a few points, but it's also like gaining, like giving me, I mean, girl, if you do 5 cups of lettuce, which is very easy to do in a salad, especially if you make a large one, like a large salad portion or a lunch portion, you got 5 cups of lettuce, then you add in a cup of tomatoes and a cup of cucumbers, you've got 5, 6, 7 more points. And then you drink 64 ounces of water, that's 8 points added based on food that you've eaten. So it's kind of like, I could see, because at first I was like, okay, I will have like a cup of veggies for lunch or a cup of veggies for dinner. So I was like gaining or earning like 3 points when I first started Weight Watchers. And then month 2, I was like, oh, when I started eating more salads, I was like, oh, I can earn like 8 or 9 points in a day. Like, you have 2 salads, one for lunch, one for dinner. And then that, like, it enabled me to eat foods like that are not the greatest, and I know it wasn't doing me any favors. And that's the part of weight loss too, that sometimes we truly have to be honest with ourselves. And my friend was like, why don't you like the new program? And I'm like, honestly, like, I like the idea because I know me. I'm not going to eat vegetables like I was, because I was like earning something, and it was like allowing me to eat, like, let's just say 9 points. I could do a bag of Cheetos. I could eat an entire meal, a whole nother entire meal. But how many calories is in that meal? I don't think it's, I understand the whole concept and I understand the idea behind it and why they thought it was a great idea and why I loved it so much. But if basically all foods still have calories. So even though I'm having a massive salad and then I'm like earning 9 points, well, like, basically I liked it, but I liked it because it allowed me to eat more food. Let's just be real. I shouldn't be eating all of that. You know what I mean? So I was also really worried when they changed it and I saw that there's like over 200 free foods, and I'm like, oh great. Like, now I have Greek yogurt and I have corn and I have popcorn and I have like all the seafood. There's just so much more to choose from. So that kind of worried me too, as a binge eater in recovery. It worried me because it's like, well, 0 point foods again still have calories, but the way that I'm going to go about it is I'm going to use those 0 point foods as their intent, like how they want you to intend their intended purpose, which is to build meals around those foods. So build a meal around shrimp, build a meal around your chicken breast, build a meal around, even when it comes to like Greek yogurt, like this morning or yesterday, I made my own version of a fruit, like a chobani fruit on the bottom, it was 0 points because the container of Greek yogurt was 0 points. And then I did monk fruit sugar, which if y'all have not tried monk fruit sugar, I will link it down below. It is delicious. Literally no aftertaste. I cannot tell the difference between that and actual real sugar. I've heard people say that the monk fruit is sweeter to them. I think it's like, I'm like, oh yes, I love it. I love it. So I put that in with my strawberries, add a little bit of water in a saucepan, kind of smush it together, let it thicken up, and I put it into my yogurt, and y'all, it was so good. And that was 0 points. And then I had something else. I can't remember. I think maybe like a thing of grits or something. So that was like a 3-point breakfast. So I'm kind of like, again, getting back into that mindset of building meals around still being able to splurge, but not being like, oh, let's build a 10-point, let's earn 10 points by building this salad that we're then going to in turn take those 10 points and go eat this, and this. You know what I mean? Y'all know what I'm talking about. So while I was hesitant, it took me a minute. And the only reason why I switched over, I'm gonna be honest. I went to the Weight Watchers meeting. They were talking about it. Pretty much everyone was excited and they switched over already. And I was like, switch over. I don't want to do it. But literally every single time I opened the app, it was like, hey, it would pop up every single time. We've made changes. Look at the new changes. And you have to go through all of the new changes. And then you'd have to like dismiss. I'm not ready yet. Remind me later. And then I'd be in the app and it would pop up like 2-3 more times. I was like, oh my gosh. So basically they essentially don't make it an option for you unless you're like more patient than me and you're just like, whatever, I'm just going to go through this and I know this. No, it pissed me off every damn time it came up. So I was like, just go ahead. And then when I did it, I was like, oh shit, what did I just do? But I will say I'm really liking it because another thing that I had to be honest with myself on is the fact that my activity started slacking. I was working out like every single day pretty much. Y'all know I was doing 8,000 steps a day, whether that was consisting of a workout in addition to just being more active throughout the day or whether that was just all from a workout. However, I was still getting in like 8,000 steps a day. And then, I hurt my foot, so then it kind of stopped. But I was slowly building myself back into working out. But I'm like, if I can like earn 8 points by drinking water and eating a salad, why would I go work out? Why would I go work out? And again, that's not the right mindset to have. So I had to be honest with myself and be like, okay, this is not the right mindset to have. So I'm very confident that with the rest of November and then going into December, that I'm going to have a much better, easier time. I'm not worried about Thanksgiving. I have told myself that I'm going to indulge and I'm going to make, I think that I don't even want to go into it, but anyways, I'm going to make a meal and I'm going to eat it, and that's that. I'm going to make enough for me to just have one meal or two on Thanksgiving. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it, but I'm not going to deprive myself. I have been eating my little pecan pie bites, which I think I'm going to be done with after Thanksgiving. And then I'm going to move on to something else. But I'm feeling really confident. I booked a cruise. I'm going on a cruise. And at first I was like, oh my gosh, like all of the food. Oh my gosh, like I'm so scared. But I'm really not worried. Am I going to gain weight on this cruise? Probably. I'm just going to go ahead and put it out there, probably. But the whole thing is that I want to go into this cruise because prior to, oh baby, I went on that cruise and I ate all day long. And I ate and I ate and I ate and I felt so sluggish. Now this was a long time ago and I was much smaller than I was, but I still ate all day, every day. So this cruise, I'm intending to keep those 0 point foods and just kind of build meals around them. We're eating in the dining room for dinner, so I know that I'm going to be eating like smaller portions, and I'm going to not allow myself, because I know that you can have like 2 portions. I think they updated their policy now where if you have a third portion of something, then you have to pay for it, but you can have up to 2 portions, and I know this, and I knew this going in. And so that's where I felt like I'm going to be, like, it's going to be the biggest challenge. But this is going to be a challenge for me, and I need to be challenging myself with these things. So the whole thing was, I want to book this cruise, I want to book this cruise, I want to book this cruise. And then the fear set in of like, oh my gosh, there's like unlimited food and an unlimited endless supply of food everywhere you go on that boat. And I was scared. And then I was like, you know what? I am no longer going to live in fear or stop doing something that I want to do because of my fear of food. I've got to get over it, and that's what I'm working on. And I have to say, like, for instance, yesterday, I had my little splurge meal. And what I do is I eat at the restaurant, and I always will split my meal into two. So I will take home half of my meal, so that way I have it for lunch, because usually I pretty much always go out for lunch, and I like it that way, so that way I can, for lunch, have the meal, for dinner, have the other half of the meal, so that way I'm not going crazy. But I'm telling you, yesterday the thoughts kept coming through, oh, today's your splurge day, which is, I don't talk about like a splurge day, and I'm trying to move away from that vocabulary, but my voice, my inner voice, today's your splurge day, go ahead and have a bag of Tito's. Today's your splurge day, go ahead and have that piece of pie that's like in your freezer. Today's your splurge day, go ahead and have 4 of the pecan pie bites. Today's your splurge day, go eat this. And every single time I was like, yeah. And then I was like, no. So I'm very, very proud of myself and the fact that I really am having these days where I'm allowing myself to have food that I'm really enjoying, so I really am just not feeling like I am missing out or feeling deprived. But on top of that, I'm also working on my relationship with food, because I remember one point, even this year, where I could not go out to a restaurant and then just let that be it. Like it would set me off for the rest of the day, and I would eat like crap that whole entire day. And sometimes I would get back on track the next day, but 9 times out of 10, if I went to eat on a Saturday, that Sunday I was eating like crap too. So again, it's just all about like slowly making changes. That's why weight loss, it bothers me that people are like, if you're not losing weight, you're doing something wrong. Well, like sometimes people just need to focus on other things other than weight loss, like internally healing or going through an addiction or, mindset changes. Like, I feel like the most successful people don't just focus on weight loss, but they focus on truly changing their habits, and it doesn't happen overnight. Social media will have you believe that you need to do all of this overnight, or like society will have you believe that you need to do all of this overnight. Do not strive for perfection, because I promise you will fail. I'm not going to say every single time, but I just know for me, whenever I strive for perfection, I fail every single time. So I know Thanksgiving is coming up. It's tomorrow when you guys see this video. So I'm not going to tell anyone what to do. I'm just going to tell you what I'm personally doing. I'm going to enjoy the day. And y'all know that my goal was to enjoy the day, but make it a day and not a weekend or a week. So this is something I'm going to be also completely transparent and vulnerable about. Yesterday, again, I was like, the thoughts in my head, and even today, it's like, oh, well, Thanksgiving's on Thursday. Go ahead and splurge. Go ahead and eat more. Like, you're going to gain weight on Thanksgiving anyways, so you might as well just go ahead and go big. Go big or go home. And it's like, absolutely not. Thoughts, go back where you came from, because you're not wanted here anymore. I am not going to fall into that trap of, oh, it's Thanksgiving, so I'm just going to take the whole week. Because last year, I didn't even allow myself to splurge. But I also know what happened come like mid-January. I went ballistic and I went crazy, and I ended up gaining all of my weight back and then some. I'm not doing that again. So I'm going to allow myself to splurge, but I also need to take that self-control and use that self-control that I know that I have, and on Friday say, nope, absolutely not. It's back to business, back to regular scheduled programming. And same with Saturday. So since I'm having my splurge day splurge meal on Thursday, then I will not be having a splurge meal on Monday or Saturday or Sunday of next week. So yeah, it's all about balance. It's all about figuring out what works for you. And I'm glad that I was honest with myself with this new Weight Watchers program. I'm glad that I changed over because I'm doing the 3 months free. So I am over, like, my thing where I have to like actually start paying ends on December 27th. So it's also going to give me a good enough time to see if this plan works for me. Because it just might not. I might be like, you know what? Like, it's just not working for me. I'm feeling too tired, or I'm feeling too this, or I don't like it. I don't know. But regardless, I like the fact that I changed, and I'm glad that I did change because now I'm giving myself ample opportunity and enough time to test it out and see if I actually do like it, or if I don't, and I'm going to go back to calorie deficit. So yeah, I also am glad that I was honest with myself about the whole like adding points for, I don't know why I did that in quotations, because that's literally what the program was like adding points for eating vegetables, adding points for drinking water instead of doing activity, because obviously the activity points are still there. So we're back to dancing. I'm actually in the new year going to start with a weightlifting program because I just know I need to do it, but I'm still going to make sure that I incorporate my dancing because I'm going to have to dance every single time I work out because it's what's gonna get me there. I'm just being honest. It really truly is. So anyways, I hope that you guys have an amazing Thanksgiving tomorrow. Let me know in the comments down below what your plans are, what you are doing. Are you hosting? Are you going anywhere? Are you spending it alone? What is going on? Let me know in the comments down below. Let me know also how you guys did this past week. I am really proud of myself. Like, again, I am literally almost 26 pounds down. I might as well just go ahead and say it. I'm like 25.9. I'm 26 pounds down. I am 305.8. So I am 6 pounds away. I lose 6 pounds and I'm going to be 299.8. Now, I'm not going to say I'm officially out of the 300s because depending on how low I get in December, who knows how much I'm going to gain on this cruise. Going into that, I'm not going into this cruise saying I'm not going to enjoy myself because I am. But I also am going to put myself on. I'm going to do this differently. I'm going to allow myself to enjoy myself, but I'm not going to go full-fledged, no, I'm going to be active. I'm going to do things, and we're going to walk a lot. I might even exercise and go to the gym. If we can take stairs instead of elevators, we might do that. It just all depends on how, dressed up we are, where we're going. But there's so many things I'm going to do differently because I already know if I overeat, I'm going to be sluggish and I'm not going to fully enjoy that cruise. So I want to have balance on the cruise. I want to be able to enjoy the food, enjoy the activities, enjoy my kids, enjoy myself, have a good time. I am literally so excited, but I also am allowing myself to enjoy. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm not going to gain because I probably will. But I'm not going to go crazy. I'm not going to overstuff myself. I'm not going to eat when I'm not hungry. I'm not going to be like, oh, we just had lunch, but let's go eat, pizza. I'm going to try to stay away from the buffet. Or if we do the buffet, maybe I'll do the buffet, and that's when I'm just going to have to exercise some major self-control. So it's going to be all about balance and then reminding myself and remembering, eating when I'm hungry, stopping when I'm full, and not going overboard just because the food is there. Literally not overboard, you know what I mean? All right, that was dumb. All right, I love you guys. Have an amazing holiday tomorrow. I hope that you get lots of time with your family and friends. And I will see you guys on Monday, and I will let you guys know a 2-month update with the Weight Watchers and how it's going and all of that stuff. But until then, have an amazing Thanksgiving, and I will see you guys. I'm so grateful for every single one of you. So thank you, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.